All right, everybody, welcome to the Studying Brew, episode 1228 on this beautiful Tuesday evening. It is the one of the two episodes that we do that are free on these fine evenings. We're so happy to have all of you here because tonight is Test Take Your Techniques Tuesday. It is the techniques that'll help you get that little edge, sometimes a big edge, to get what, Brandy?
Pass notices?
Way to go, Brandy. Pass notices. That's it. When you want to get a pass notice, that is the name of the game. We just want to pass an exam. That's all. Especially if you're trying to pass the FINRA or NASA exam, the ones that bring you the SIE, the 6, 63, 26, 65, and Series 7. And speaking of all of those amazing licenses and tests, Brandy has all of them. That's who's over there running the show. She's the one. She's your professor. She's your teacher. She's your maestra, because she's got that Series 6, 63, 26, Series 65, and her Series 7, which makes her more than qualified to teach you all the things you need to know so that way you too could get a pass. My name is Andy. I am here on the ones and twos, as they say, doing the recording, doing the editing, doing the getting of the coffee. But you're not here for me. You're here for Brandy. Just plain and simple, right? But tonight, on these nights, we like to look at applying the knowledge, getting a right answer when we don't know the content. A lot of times, many a times, people study this stuff so linear, and then they take the exam so linear, like one straight line. I'm going to start at the preface of the book, and I'm going to end at the appendix. I don't go anywhere else. I go chapter 1 through chapter whatever it is. And then I take the exam and I read the question, and then I read the answers in alphabetical order, and then I pick my answer accordingly. That's how everybody does it. And everybody on here, some of you might be on here, and you go, well, Andy, how else would you do that? Why are we not going in order? What is this magic that you're trying to pass off? Guys, if there's a way, let's say, to get an answer, you read it, and then you read the question. Are we not keyed in more as to what the heck the question's asking you? Because now you've seen all the answers. You know what you're thinking. You know what it might be. And now we're reading the question, as we say, with intent. What do they call that? Game changer. Thanks, Brandy.
Welcome.
It's a game changer because no longer are you doing this thing. You read the whole long question. How many of you guys taken the exam and you go and see the exam question and you read it and you see that it's longer than a CVS receipt? You know what I mean? Those long, almost biblical looking receipts where they're like they need to scroll. That's what those questions look like. And then by the time you get to the end of the question, you nearly forgot what the question was about. So we're rereading the question that we just read. And then we make it to the answers finally. And then we read all the answers. And then we're going to do what? Read the question again. And then we're going to look at the answers again because we can't remember what the heck we just read in the question because it was so long. And now we're looking at the answers again. By that time, you spent like almost 7 minutes on one question. This is super important. Some of you might be like, well, what's the big deal? It's a timed exam. It's a timed exam. And if you've ran out of time on any of these exams, you know what I'm talking about. You know the challenge. You know what's going on here because especially if you've taken the Series 63, there is less time and more questions. The time to question ratio is not good. It's not in your favor, as they would say in Hunger Games. It is not in your favor. So you really got to have a strategy and a technique on how to do this. And one of the things we're going to learn tonight is reading the answers first and then reading the question. And then we do this thing where we're going to look to see if we can answer these questions without even looking at the question sometime. Just based on answer choices, there is patterns that you can take advantage of. There is things that are built in every single multiple choice exam that you can take advantage of that will help you answer the question without actually reading the question. Did he say that right? Yes. You can answer the question without reading the question. How much time do you think that saves you? Most people's way, linear. And then we read it again. And then we read it again. And then we read it again. Why would they do that? Because they know that every time you do this, the clock goes like this. You're running out of time. It makes it even more difficult. And what happens when you're running out of time and you notice this? You freak out, you stress, you get anxiety, your stomach turns, you're getting the cold sweat. You're almost, you're looking to not for the answers up there, as some people think, but you're looking for divine intervention. You're like, Jesus, please send me a sign. Do I need to be here? Do I need to do this? Right? Is this for me? I don't even know. Send me a sign. Take out the electricity in this place. Make it to where I could take this over. You know what I mean? Or simply you're just looking for that divine intervention to just like someone put in the chat, take the wheel. Please just take the wheel. Just guide me through this thing. Give me the answers because they're not coming to me fast enough and the time has gone and I am in a cold sweat now. These techniques, these things that we show you just a sample of on Tuesdays and Thursdays are really expanded in what we do in the membership. And if you haven't gone into the membership and you haven't seen us and you're not following us and you're not at least a free member, you're missing out on some great stuff because even the free members get nice notices in their email where they could just even purchase something like Test Lab Tuesday, like Brandy did today. She only did 3 questions in an hour. 3 questions. Why did she go that slow? Because she's literally going play per thought of every which way she does these questions. Why does she look at it this way? How did dissects it, if you will, the anatomy of each one of these questions and answers. So that way you could just do that. Thank you, Albert. Membership is golden. And you know what? If you don't want to be a member, if you don't want to pay that, if you're just like, I just want the techniques, as some people do, even free members or people who don't want to be a member can go ahead and go on there and just purchase today's Test Lab Tuesday. It's $20. You can just get that one play if that's what you want to do. You want to get that one thing. You just want that one live session. We have them on there for sale. Or you could just be a member and you could get a plan, a 21-day plan to knock this thing out. It is by far the best plan out there, I feel. Why? Because you get enough time with the content. You're not rushed through it. And it's quick enough to where it doesn't drag out if you actually follow the plan. The 21-day, you go through it day by day. It tells you it doesn't matter what time zone you're in. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where in the world you are. As long as you got some internet, you got a membership, you can get this thing done. And plus, we have books for sale, SIE 663, 2665. If you've gone through an LEM through other people, you realize how massive that book is. And you probably have said this maybe more than once, asked many of people, can you just tell me what's on the exam? That's what's in the dang books, guys. That's within the study guides. People ask us, what's in your study guides? What's on the dang test? Is the test compromised and we have the answer somehow? No. What I mean by that is we follow the outline. We're not overinflating this thing. We're not trying to have the editor's edition. We're not trying to sell books to these massive companies. We're a mom and pop. We ain't got time for that. We only update when the exam updates. And so we have all the stuff on there, all the stuff you need to do, just like on the outlines from FINRA and NASA. Go check it out. Course videos, live sessions, live members, small group tutoring, all that great stuff. Kona community on the Discord. Don't study alone. 951-290-3077. Give a call, give a text. KonaButterflyz@gmail.com. Scan the QR code, hit the links. Tomorrow's schedule for our live sessions, we don't have any, but we do have an amazing SIE bootcamp that is coming out. It is in person. Yes, it is in person. But y'all, guess what? Guess what Brandy said?
What did Brandy say?
Brandy said, not everybody can be there, Andy. I said, no, I can't. And then somebody messaged me from Texas. Someone messaged Brandy from Minnesota. Someone paid from Maryland. We got to go like, well, we got to give the people what they want. We can't turn them away. So we're going to have it on Zoom too. So you can register for that. We're going to have it on Zoom. We won't have Zoom codes go out until the day of, but it is an SIE boot camp, 2 days, 27th and the 28th, a Friday and a Saturday. It is 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. with tons of breaks because why? Brandy has ADD. I can't put it enough. ADHD in the house because your butt can't handle it, and neither can your brain. So we're going to take lots of breaks, and we're going to learn in keywords. We're going to learn the way that we want you guys to learn how to answer these questions, like we are going to show you a little bit on tonight, but especially on Thursdays. Apply keywords into questions. 2 day live exam or live boot camp. We're going to go through all the content you need to know. Plus, Brandy is going to show you how to apply the knowledge with test exam questions, where she's going to show you those techniques. She's going to show you that how it's applied. So you're not going to just have a bunch of content dumped onto you. You're actually going to learn how to apply it in the questions or how they may ask you. So that way you're not completely lost. You're not looking at these questions and going, what? Just like that. It's long pause. What? And that's what happens, right? Every time. All right. We do have a discount for members. We do have it for non-members as well. Go ahead and register. Brandy will send the information over. That's how you get in. We have 100 seat in the person, but now we are open into the Zoom. So we'll just keep going. We do have workbooks for people that are attending or signed up that'll go through it. Brandy is actually working on those workbooks, so we will have those workbooks available. Not sure on the logistics of how we're going to get that to the people who are on Zoom, but you will need to let me know if we are on Zoom or in person. I'll probably have to send out multiple things to find out where you're going to be. And then if you are in person, we will have our study guides available.
Yeah.
And then if you are on the Zoom, I'll figure something out for you guys too with the study guides. I haven't worked this all out. The boss just came downstairs from the upstairs management. She was in a board meeting with all of our members, and she said, "This is how it's going to go, Andy." And I haven't figured it out yet, but this is how it's going to go. So
Pretty much.
yeah, the CEO slammed the gavel down, and now I got to figure it out. So, all right, here nor there, SIE Bootcamp, February 27th, 28th, 2 days. All you need to know. Check it out. If you're in the Southern California area, I encourage you to be there in person. We hope to see you all there. All right, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh, I thought you were going to talk. Why are you looking at me?
Because
this is where you take over.
I don't know.
Test take and take. I mean, I talked about it enough. 6 questions. Brandy's going to go through it. You're going to not need no content. And hopefully it'll make more sense than what I just said. But no content needed. Techniques, strategy, read answers, look at question, do what Brandy does. Go.
Thank you. I like that. To the point. All right, let's go, guys. All right, guys. So sometimes what happens is that we overthink, right? We overthink the whole, like, it says open and it says close and it says short and it says long and what the heck is XYZ. All we really need to do is, just like you guys see in the chat, is that we've got to sell, we've got to sell, we got to buy, we got to buy.
They say in Canada XYZ. Did you know that?
I've heard that.
Oh.
Yeah. The other thing we're going to look at is the fact that this says open, that says open, this says close, and that says close. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we need to open before we close the US Open, right? Opening ceremonies, right? So we have to do this first.
USA. USA.
And then we do this last or second. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you got to open the door, then you close it.
Exactly. Exactly.
If you're going to be a pain in the butt about it, and you're going to go, well, you could close the door and then no. Listen to me. Open, close.
Right. So first, second, and that's what we're going to go by, right? That's and that's not securities knowledge. That's plain meaning. Yeah. Plain old meaning, right? So let's just go scan through this thing.
There's that one dude that's got to say no door.
Caleb McCann got a tip from his brother Nate on the stock 2 months ago. Caleb hasn't previously been investing. So he has to do something first.
So that means he has to open an account.
Yeah.
He doesn't have anything to close. He has to open something.
Yeah.
He doesn't have anything.
Right.
He hasn't been doing jack.
Right.
Nor and squat.
He wants to place a trade. Now, somebody put in the chat, well, buy equals open. First equals open. But I didn't want to put content in here today. But because he's bullish, we are going to buy
C.
content wise. But it didn't
Oh,
matter.
sorry, I keep doing that. Si, senor.
But it kind of didn't matter because we can eliminate A and B. Because most of the time, if we've never invested before, we're probably going to buy. That's probably going to be the first thing if we've
Yeah.
never invested
Yeah,
before.
common sense.
Right.
What do you can't sell anything, you never bought anything, you were never in it, so you don't have anything to sell. You're probably gonna buy.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
trying not to overthink it.
Correct. All right. I have shareholders' liability is limited. A shareholder can be required. A shareholder has unlimited liability. Ooh.
Unlimited is cool.
Can be obligated. Obligated and required is literally the same thing.
Unlimited liability, that would be horrible.
So let's go with limited liability and unlimited liability as our two opposite choices when we're going to break these down.
Yeah, the opposite being one's limited, one's
Right.
unlimited.
And just like Andy said, if I had unlimited as a shareholder, that's crazy.
Unlimited liability, that means, I mean, I'm taking it out of securities world. If someone says unlimited liability, that means anything that could go wrong is I'm liable for at any price, at any cost. Are you out of your mind? No, I'm not signing that. You crazy.
Y'all, if this was true about stockholders, nobody would buy stock.
Right, but I took it out of securities.
Yeah. So there we go. That's what we used. We used common sense.
Common sense, no content.
Loses the $300 premium paid, keeps the $30, keeps the 300 paid, loses the $30 paid. I don't know about you guys, but this one is very specific.
Yeah, they made a point to put out there that it's premium. Have you ever had anybody in your life who's bought something premium? What's the first thing they tell you? It's premium, you know.
And when we buy when we buy something and we didn't exercise it, we're going to lose that premium.
Yeah.
If you purchase, you paid. Exactly. And that's the other thing too, like when you guys are looking at these things, usually the answer choice, usually the answer choice that's more specific is usually the answer.
Right. And then if you look at that question, it confirms it. You're reading it with intent, like I talked about. Purchased means paid. There you go. And if you don't exercise it, you're losing out.
Exactly. They are utilized by the public sector only, include stock and bonds. Traded securities traded in them can be bought and sold by individuals and institutions. Entities can utilize them to finance both long and okay. All of that's a lot of words.
Well, and if you're a Kona regular, the and is one of those key things that we talk about all the time. But since we have two answers that have and, that doesn't work.
Right. And when we see the word only, and exactly why only public, right? And when we see the word only, that's usually not true. Must is sometimes not true. Only is usually not true. Never is usually not true. Or always
And to simply remember it, we call it Mona.
is usually not true. And yes, we call this mode.
Why is it usually not true? Because very few things are
Oops.
indefinitely true. Right?
Right. So look, I didn't even show you guys the question, but here's the question. Boop. It says accept. Can accept. Not true. Can accept. Not true. I hope that's the wind.
I have no idea.
There was an earthquake close to us
Oh, really? Well, we didn't fall in. We're good.
today. Contributions are tax free. There are no income limits. There are no penalties for early distributions, or distributions are normally tax free. So I got two tax frees.
Probably one of those two.
I also have a distribution and a distribution.
Ooh, double dip on D.
This is what we call the double dip. There's two similars or two of the same statements in one Answer choice.
And if you think she's going by content, you are surely wrong.
Dun, dun,
This is all technique right here.
dun, dun.
That's a double dip.
That's the answer. That's it.
That is called getting the question right without looking at the question.
Correct.
Like I said earlier.
Ooh, numbers. I think it's the last one. Yeah. Numbers. Y'all, if you're studying for the SIE, I'd pay attention to this.
Oh man, do we do the parentheses first? Do we do the multiplication first? Do we add first? Who doesn't remember any of that?
We don't even need it. Because look, I have a 1025 here and a 1025 there.
Yes.
And then I have a 1045 there and a 1045 there.
So we call that a double dip? No math.
There is no math in this.
Sometimes math slows you down.
This is asking what the inside quote is. It's the highest, the lowest. But we didn't need it because it was right there. We didn't need that knowledge because it was literally right there on the screen.
How many of you guys could have gotten that quick? Not a lot of you. Because you guys are doing the math. You're doing too much.
Right.
You just got to be konifying this.
Exactly.
Save yourself some time, get it right, move on, don't overthink it, and we just get what?
Pass notices.
Because that's all we're focused on. We just need to get it right. I guarantee you, if you get that right based on that, it's going to be a right answer. And then guess what? The proctor's not going to say, show me the work on question B or on question number 44. Why did you put B? Where's your work? No one asks that. They don't care. They want you out. Here's your pass notice. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Keep it moving. Know what I mean? See you on the next one. And that's basically it. That's basically it. All you guys got to do is get it right. And then we get the next one. It doesn't matter how you get there. Doesn't matter how it got there. You can overthink it. You can overread it. You can rationalize it. You can go over that question and overdo it like you always do. And then you go and second guess yourself and get it wrong.
That's right.
Let's keep it simple. Let's just do that. Do it consistently. Get good at it. And then go take the dang exam. That's all we got to focus on.
Yep.
So with that, everybody, stay consistent tomorrow. Work on it. For members, we will see you, and non-members, doesn't matter. We'll see you all on Thursday because there's no sessions tomorrow. We'll be back for the members in the morning on Thursday. We'll be back for you all on the Studying Brew for the last one of the week. Don't forget, we got that boot camp coming up quick. So make sure to get yourself a spot. And until then, everybody, stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't touch your friends' heads. That's all I know. Keep the positive mental attitude. PMA. Everybody have a great night.
Thank you all so much for being on. We so super appreciate you. Practice these techniques in your quizzes. We will see you all next time. Have a great one.